Cool. Yeah, looking forward to hearing more about
Okay.
Flavones. It's we're definitely gonna give them a try. They sound awesome. We work with so many supplements, and we're always looking for alternatives that are more
Right.
food-like. If people can eat eat their
Uh-huh.
medicine, let your food be your medicine, right?
Exactly.
And your medicine be your food. That's the best
Right,
way.
right. The nice part with the
Yeah,
syntonic component of the flavonoids there, and just still being in the
yeah,
raw food state, that's
yeah,
nice. So, yeah.
yeah. So walk us through the story.
Okay. Well, as far as with the Flavon, got introduced to it in end of end of January, when I got an email from a person who looks at the live blood under 18,000 magnification, and she'd been introduced to it in October, and so she'd been looking at people ever since then, every month or two, and not charging them, just having them come back so she could get a view. And she was just simply amazed with the changes in the blood appearance that she was seeing, that was happening 4 times faster than anything that she'd seen in 20 years.
Wow.
And so consistently, time after time, seeing more robust red blood cells. And the one email that she sent had the 66-year-old diabetic on 17 units of insulin a day, and he did start working on his diet, but normally she would see that would take 9 months at a minimum to take place, significant change, and he had incredible change in 7 weeks, and had gone from 17
Wow.
units in insulin a day down to 2, which was actually too much.
Amazing.
And so by the 8th week, he was off all insulin and off 95% of his meds.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, so she's continued to see person after person. She has yet to see anybody taking it whose blood has not improved. So,
And that's amazing too, because we work with all kinds of remedies, and that are very targeted and specific. But there's this old saying that I really love. That's, you can cure retail, but you can only prevent. You can only cure retail, but you can prevent wholesale. So we're talking wholesale prevention.
right,
If we know from the practitioner's experience that people with a wide range of serious health concerns are able to clear those more rapidly than maybe even with different more targeted
uh-huh,
types of approaches. It's obviously covering some really fundamental basis of health.
right. Just some incredible, nice building blocks to give the body for
Yeah.
repair and rejuvenation and restoration.
And fruits and vegetables.
Right.
So we all know we need to be eating more
Right,
of
sort
those.
of how it was designed to work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, how wonderful.
yeah.
Now, I did notice looking at the formulas, there's green tea in the greens.
And then also they have one called Active, which they say if a person would like a substitute for a morning cup of coffee. And so if somebody is a little sensitive to caffeine,
Yeah.
then they should do
That's my question.
they should do the greens probably late afternoon to early evening. My wife and I aren't particularly that sensitive, and we do ours right at bedtime, and it doesn't keep us up at night.
Okay, so it's not an amount of caffeine that's even an issue for people who are sensitive
People
if they
who are
take it earlier in the
sensitive,
day.
as long as they do it early evening, late afternoon, they'd be totally fine.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Because that's a big concern. Because we have
Sleep.
people that are, including ourselves, who are extremely sensitive. Like, I don't do any caffeine at all, ever.
So
So
late
I'll
afternoon.
just have to test it out. And,
Yeah, test it out, but yeah, late
see how
afternoon,
it
early
goes.
evening, you should be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Uh, and then there's garlic in one of them. Again, people who are sensitive to garlic. Any feedback? Anybody who says, "Well, I'm using a different product because I avoid the garlic."
Yeah, I haven't heard of any issues yet. I know I had a patient in. Actually, it was at the Syntonic meeting. A person she's not an OD, but was there. I forget what therapist. she's got some major toxic issues, and so she just sampled a teeny little bit of, I think, the fruit one, and I almost wonder how much of her issue might be desiring to be sensitive to things, because she said it gave her a significant headache, and she did just such a small amount. I mean, maybe it's true, but so that's the only person I've had a reaction to it. So
Okay.
I don't know of from the other person who's doing the blood studies that she's had any major complaints from anybody. So
somebody who has a high sensitivity like that, what I would normally do is say, if like I'd be testing them and find, this test as a medicine for you, and they start taking it, and I usually caution people who know they're sensitive to start out any kind of new remedy slowly.
For sure.
It's give them the analogy of the Japanese hot tub, the furo. You don't dive in, you stick your toe in or your little finger. It's the wise thing to do. But to take more fluids, take a smaller dose initially, and work up. As you were saying in the other interview about electromagnetic PEMF therapies, that there's protocols with that to introduce it slowly, because you are intending to stimulate some detoxification, and that can stir up some symptoms in the process.
Too fast, right?
Yeah. Gentle. It's the slow race.
The better we go.
The last one standing, the last one still healing wins.
That works. Right. Very good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, so what do you see? I know it's, you're doing multiple therapies with these people, doing the electromagnetic fields and perhaps other things. But what's your sense of it, the efficacy that you're seeing in the practice with the food concentrates, with the flavones? Do you see it like stepping things up a notch as far as the effects?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some of the people with Bemer who are on the pretty sick side, they notice they're better, but some of them can, again, like say somebody who's very sensitive, they have to go pretty slow. And so what I just see the Flavon doing is helping speed things up, because instead of just trying to circulate not so healthy blood, which will get more oxygen and definitely will help versus not circulating blood, but if we can get the blood healthier and then circulate that better, it's just such a nice synergistic effect.
So would you say that people probably will tolerate ramping up on the flavones quicker and earlier than the magnetic fields? Or
yeah, or maybe they don't have to do as much Flavon once it's combined with Bemer, just because of the results that we're seeing with the blood flow, that was just the Flavon by itself. And so it just, to me, if you get the circulation going better, which I know the Bemer does hands down, it's just going to have that much benefit. So.
And are some people doing just the Flavon, or pretty much? Okay.
Yeah.
And people there, what do you see as far as people reporting back that they notice changes? Is it often within weeks, or?
That's usually within just a couple of weeks. I mean, it depends on the person. Increased energy is usually one of the most reported occurrences. Actually, our up the hill neighbor who's coming down to our house to do Bemer, and then she did Bemer by itself and mild cataracts, although night vision, she definitely has had years of issues with almost like a multiple image. And so we did Bemer for probably a good month, and I think we got like a couple letters, so basically not much of a change, Bemer by itself. She added the Flavon, and just last week, so I think she's been doing that 3 weeks now, maybe 4. Yeah, 4 weeks, because she just finished her first round. And she was just driving home last week and was just like, whoa. her multiple image at night's totally gone, and she just noticed how much clearer she was seeing, and so she was
That's so wonderful.
happy to see the change, because she's had that for years. So
wow, wonderful.
Yeah. And I know the one lady with the vitreous membrane, little edema under it, the Flavon by itself cut it by about 50% in 2 to 3 weeks. And then we did Bemer and Flavon, and then that cut it in 2 weeks by another 50%. So I see her Thursday for the next check after she's finished 20 Bemer sessions, and we'll see what we see. She's been bringing her mother along, who's mid-80s, and just over the last year, she and her sister have just noticed her mom is just losing energy, drive, not real perky at all anymore, and so she's done just about, today was her 20th Bemer. And she said overall they can tell, I mean, it's not dramatic, but they can tell that she's having more good days, and where she's more with it, and fewer days where she's just flatlined and not engaging. And so I did mention, you could try her on the Flavon. She's, oh yeah. So
right.
She's going to start that now, and actually their next door neighbor, because they live about an hour north of town, their next door neighbor should have their Bemer next week. And they're a very kind couple, and his wife had aneurysm, and Syntonics helped her noticeably, but then she was doing Bemer also, and she could tell a difference, and her husband for sure could tell a difference when they added the Bemer in. And so then once they get theirs, then this family will be able to send their mom, because her mom just lives around the corner from them, over to their house, and she can start beaming more regularly and have that combo with the Flavon. So yeah, it'll be nice to see what she has.
Well, we're
more chances to
looking forward to experiencing it ourselves and getting it on board to help people who need. But everybody needs that foundation. Really, it's a unique product that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.